Saraswati Devi Gaurav Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Shri Radha Vrindavan Chandra Ki Jai Shri Shri Nitai Gauranga Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. So today we are going to read from a section is almost towards the end, and this section is actually a section practically meant for us, all of us, because so far Krishna has spoken about many aspects of Chita Prajna, rather how to what is the advantages of becoming a devotee and so many aspects like that. So this section is specifically going to tell us how by becoming a devotee, how to become a devotee rather. How to practice devotion is what this section, the last section of Bhagavad, the second chapter, is going to tell us. Okay, so let us get into the details of this section. So, hope everybody can see the presentation. Is it visible? Okay.
Yes, Professor. It is visible.
Yes. Thank you. Okay. So this is the part 6 of the second chapter. We'll have one more part, in fact, because this section, which we're going to discuss, part 5, is a little detailed. So we'll go a little slow. We'll try to cover at least 9 verses. So all these discussions we are having by the grace of Srila Prabhupada, who is the founder Acharya of ISKCON, the worldwide Hare Krishna movement. Only by his merciful teachings that we are able to understand this whole Bhagavad Gita so nicely and try to follow whatever best possible in our lives. Okay, so let us first get a brief of second chapter before we move forward with the actual discussion today. So I have been telling and explaining that chapter 1 is more or less like a stage setting. The whole background of what is going to be explained in Bhagavad Gita is like a drama. What happens is first narration happens with regard to what you're going to hear, right? So who is the characters, what is the background? So the background of the whole text was given in the chapter 1, right? And we also saw how Arjuna was ready to fight, and he on his chariot with his bow and arrows, and wanted to see who has come on the battlefield. He ordered Krishna to place a chariot between the two armies, and when the chariot was placed, that is when Arjuna got bewildered. He was overwhelmed with compassion, looking at the different grades of relatives, both from both on both the sides. And it is not ordinary war, because it looks like you have to fight your own relatives, family members, and friends. So this was something very much perplexing and rather not very liking to Arjuna's heart. So he started giving reasoning, arguments that he cannot fight in this condition. And that very same person was ready to fight. He kept his bow and arrows on the chariot and he started crying. Right? The person was about to fight. He decided not to fight. That's where the second chapter, the description begins. And second chapter is, Prabhupada says, this is actually known as the contents of the Gita summarized. The whole Gita is actually summarized in this second chapter. And if you carefully go through the description in the second chapter, later on the same topics Krishna is going to elaborate in all the other chapters. So what does this chapter tell us? We'll just quickly refresh our memory. So in the beginning 10 verses, Arjuna's further doubts were expressed by Arjuna. And finally, Arjuna is telling that there are two great personalities in front of me, Bhishma and Drona. And killing these great personalities is not good actually. And he was giving other reasoning that maybe the sons of Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana and party, they may have be overtaken by so many desires and unwanted evil plans. But why I should fight? So like this, he gives further reasoning. And finally, when he sees that none of his reasoning, none of his points were all actually valid, he was not convinced. He surrenders to Krishna as his disciple. This is where the whole turning point happens. But say that relationship between Krishna and Arjuna changes from friendship to guru and disciple, right? So this is where Krishna starts instructing. Earlier it was on the friendship platform, so there was friendly talks, but now this was serious talk because the talks between spiritual master and the disciple are not frivolous talks, they are very serious talks. So in that way we can say that instructions of Bhagavad Gita in one sense begins from chapter 2 from verse 11. But it doesn't mean that we should not read the initial verses. That is going to give us a setting. Why? What is Krishna speaking? What is the background in which Krishna is speaking? There's a reason why Krishna is speaking some things. Right? That way very nicely Bhagavad Gita is presented to all of us. So this is a classic way of example being given in Bhagavad Gita. We do have many material problems, we have many material perplexities, complexities around us every now and then. And we always look for material problems, rather material solutions. So this is a very important lesson in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita to understand that material problems cannot be solved by material solutions. All material problems can be solved by spiritual solutions. Material problems have spiritual answers. This is the point. So we have to seek spiritual understanding from the spiritual master. That is the point. Because any sort of complexity in the material world, unless it is philosophically approached, you cannot solve it. Philosophical, again, not in terms of speculating, in an authorized way, the way Krishna explains. Philosophy here I mean Bhagavad Gita's understanding, the spiritual understanding, right? So philosophy basically means finding out the reality of the truth. You are liking for the truth. What is that actually I'm looking for? So all the problems have some root issue wherein we have to address that. So any material problem can be philosophically addressed or spiritually answered. That's the point. And moving forward, in the next set of verses from 11 to 30, Krishna was giving knowledge about the spirit soul, and he was actually inducing again Arjuna to fight, because that was the main thing which Arjuna was refusing to. I don't want to fight. Krishna explained the knowledge about soul. There is no death for the soul. The body can never be saved. Like this, Krishna gave the wonderful philosophy of the soul. Soul's real nature was explained. Why? Because Arjuna was talking on the bodily platform. So Krishna had to give him knowledge about the soul. Next, in the third section, Krishna speaks about the karma kanda. Karma kanda means you have to work, perform your duty, and only by performing your duty can you will get your results. In this case, Arjuna was refusing to even perform his duty of fighting. That's where Arjuna was advised by Krishna, you have to fight. As a matter of duty, you have to fight. So the karma kanda consciousness, by performing prescribed duties, Krishna was telling, will gain material enjoyment. Right? Even you want to go to heaven or you want to enjoy heavenly pleasures, you have to fight, you have to perform your duty. That was the understanding. And with this, Krishna concluded that fight for the sake of fighting, perform your duty. And it is repeated again. So Krishna said, material gains, heaven or kingdom. Like this, Arjuna was a little confused. That he was thinking so many things in the first chapter, as you see. that, what is the use? We'll go to hell, all these things he was speaking. But Krishna was very clear. Yeah, if you only perform your duties, that is what is important in this material world. So don't worry about gain or loss. Even if you gain, you'll enjoy happiness. If you lose, you'll go to heavenly kingdom. Like this, Krishna was advising Arjuna. The next section, which we discussed in the previous session, was on Buddhi Yoga, the Krishna consciousness or the Bhakti Yoga. See, in every section, Krishna was trying to again and again induce Arjuna to fight. That was his whole purpose. The whole Bhagavad Gita is made to induce Arjuna to fight. Fight basically meaning action. Okay. So now Krishna says that if you fight, rather if you work in a way or you do your duty, you will have no reaction for that duty, the way Krishna says. What does Krishna recommend? He recommends nishkarma karma yoga. Nishkama, it is actually nishkama karma yoga. We should work with knowledge. So you are detached from the fruits of your work, then that fighting, rather that work will not have any reaction. The knowledge that you are part and parcel of Krishna and you are going to work for Krishna's pleasure is what Krishna explained in the 4th section. Now coming to this section which we are going to discuss today, Krishna is going to teach us how to become fixed up in Bhakti Yoga or Buddhi Yoga, or rather Krishna consciousness. Right? And Krishna will teach us how by working in Buddhi Yoga, you'll attain material detachment and you will have a very equilibrium, very equipoised way of working in this material world. Basically, Krishna has explained about Samadhi in the 4th section quite a number of times. Samadhi basically means mind fixed in Krishna's service. Right? Your mind is always absorbed in Krishna. That is called Samadhi. So this is what Krishna explained to us in the previous sections. And specifically in the last section, Krishna is going to explain to us further about how to become a devotee, as I was explaining to you. So basically, in the previous section, Krishna has explained what is all you're going to benefit from the Bhakti Yoga or Buddhi Yoga. Right? In the 39th verse, Krishna explained that by working in Buddhi Yoga, or rather working in Krishna consciousness, you'll be free from bondage. And very nicely, Krishna explains that karma bandham prahasyasi, in the 39th verse. And in 40th verse, he says that even a little endeavor in this path, there is no loss or diminution, means always a gain only for you. And by doing this, you'll be saved from the greatest danger. You'll be saved from the cycle of birth and death. Right? Like this, Krishna explains further that so Krishna says you should have firm determination to do this activity. Vyavasayatmika buddhi. And further, Krishna explains in verse number 50 that you will get freedom from good and bad reaction. Ube sukrute dushkrute jahatiha, he explains. So further, again, Krishna in the next verse, the 51st verse, he explains that you get freedom from cycle of birth and death. And these are all the different benefits or the various advantages you're going to have by practicing Buddhi Yoga. And also, by practicing Buddhi Yoga, you will rise above the normal Vedic rituals and various other rules, regulations, which otherwise people are so much entangled. And this will bring you to the platform of Samadhi. Krishna explains, Samadhau achala buddhi in the 53rd verse. Realization of relationship with Krishna as eternal servant. And these are all the various benefits Krishna explained in the 4th section, which we understood. And now, starting from this last section, which begins with a question from Arjuna. The whole Bhagavad Gita is actually Krishna-Arjuna Samvada, the talks between Krishna and Arjuna. Arjuna is asking questions and Krishna is answering them. Arjuna is actually representing us, common living entities. And Arjuna is putting forth questions, which we as human beings, we are supposed to have these questions. Any intelligent human being should have these questions about life. So Arjuna, in one sense, is helping all of us by posing these questions for us. And then Krishna is answering them for our benefit. So what is Arjuna's question? So far, Krishna has explained about if you perform bhakti yoga or Krishna consciousness, that is the best in your life. So become determined. It's going to really help you in your life because it's going to take you out of this material world, take you out of the cycle of birth and death. That is the purpose of the human life. So this is so important. Arjuna is coming up with 4 questions in text number 54. I want all of you to refer your Bhagavad Gita as it is book. It will help you to understand what I am speaking. So 54th verse, Arjuna Vacha, Trita Prajnasya Ka Bhasha, Samadhistasya Keshava, Titadhi Kim Prabhasheta, Kim Asita Vrajeta Kim. Here, Arjuna is asking Krishna 4 questions. Okay. So basically, Arjuna's questions is directly asking with regard to how to recognize a person who is in Krishna consciousness or who is situated in Krishna consciousness. Now, because Arjuna is asking these questions, in the future, somebody may tell that, oh, I am also a devotee. I am also a very realized person. I am a big sadhu. I am, I have gone to Himalayas and done 1,000 years meditation, and I have realized so much because so many so-called gurus are there right now in society, right? So anybody can come and tell, I am God. That's what is going on presently, right? So when somebody says, I'm self-realized, I am guru, I am that, I am this, everything has symptoms, right? Everybody has to show some symptoms. Somebody says, I'm a rich man. Richness has some symptoms, right? He's telling he's a rich man, but he's not even having a vehicle to move around, right? And he's not called rich man, right? So everything has symptoms. That's what Arjuna want to ask or rather, clarify in this particular verse. Krishna, you have told me that fixing your mind on you, that is becoming fixed in Krishna consciousness, this is going to actually liberate you and bring you to the platform of spiritual existence. So this being the case, how can we experience this being in the material body? Because this particular aspect of you being situated spiritually is something very subjective. Are there any symptoms or rather are there any indications that a person like this is situated spiritually? This is the beauty of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita's presentation is very scientific. Bhagavad Gita doesn't speak anything which is very vague, which cannot be confirmed, which cannot be experimented. No, you can verify, you can test. That is the point. The science means theory and practical. So Bhagavad Gita is not only talking theory, it is also giving you practical aspects of how you can recognize a devotee and how you yourself can become a devotee. So wonderful it is. That's why Bhagavad Gita is so important for us to understand and apply in our lives, every teaching. So Arjuna is asking 4 questions in verse number 54. What are the 4 questions? He says, Tita Pragnasya Ka Bhasha. Bhasha basically means, in one sense, it is a language, but we can also take it as symptoms. What are the general symptoms of a person in Krishna consciousness or Samadhi stage? Question number 1. Second question, Kim Prabhasheta? How does he speak? Right? We'll understand what this actually means, but right now let us understand this much only. How does he speak? Kim Prabhaseta? Kim Asita? How does he sit? Right? Third question. And 4th question, Kim Vrajeta? Vraja. This Vrindavan is called Vraja, because Krishna went around. He walked around in Vraja. That's why it's called Vraja. Okay, Vraja means walking. How does he walk? So what are his general symptoms? Question number 1. How does he speak? How does he sit? How does he walk? Very nice. right? Only 4 questions he's asking. And these questions are so important. It has a lot of spiritual understanding, every question. See, Bhagavad Gita's verse is so nice, so compact. Behind this verse is a big philosophy. Right? That's the whole beauty of Bhagavad Gita's way of teaching. If you know the verse, then you know the whole philosophy. That's how it is. So here, very importantly, Prabhupada explains how there are symptoms of everybody, every person. When you say you're a diseased person, you have some symptoms. So a fever means you're very tired, and other you're feeling not very active, and you want to sleep, you want to rest, right? Your taste is gone. Like this, diseased man has some symptoms. A learned man has symptoms. A rich man has some symptoms. Similarly, Arjuna's question is, there are symptoms for self-realized soul, right? And here, Prabhupada is very nicely explaining in the purport, the most important symptom of anybody is that about what he speaks. The speech is a very important quality of a man. Prabhupada says, it is said that a fool cannot be identified. That a fool is fool cannot be identified unless he speaks. A fool cannot be identified that he is a fool unless he speaks. Very well dressed, a very big man. Start speaking, you come to know, he is useless. Dabba. Right? So, as soon as he speaks, he reveals himself at once. So, a person's speech means he is very composed, he's speaking very fluently, he's speaking meaningfully, purposefully, very nicely. That's what it means. Otherwise, anybody can speak, right? When a madman speaks, but his talk has no sense, nonsense it is. Likewise, what a person speaks is very important. So, Prabhupada says the immediate symptom of a Krishna conscious person, Krishna conscious man, is that he speaks only of Krishna and matters relating to Krishna. Other symptoms automatically follow. But speech is so important. That's why in Krishna consciousness, the other Krishna conscious movement is called Hare Krishna movement. Why? Because Hare Krishna, we say everybody Hare Krishna. And we tell people to chant Hare Krishna. Prabhupada said, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. So, talking. Prabhupada says, our tongue has 2 business. One is eating business. One more is speaking business. Very important, right? So, we chant Hare Krishna. We eat only what? Krishna Prasada. This is going to control your whole body. Right? If you eat prasadam only and chant Hare Krishna, your life is perfect. You'll go back to spiritual world. Okay. Problem is, we cannot do this. That's why you have to learn how to do this. Simple. Hearing is very simple, but how to do it? Oh, very nice, eatable. Somebody brought some nice, some snacks. Oh, so nice. Tempted. In front of you, snacks are kept. You're told not to eat. Oh, it cannot possible. Impossible. Even without that, you'll be meditating on it, right? When I will eat that, when I will eat this. Sometimes in the houses, we have been to many of our donors' houses. They'll keep many varieties of food on the dining table or on their, in the living room. Some things, why we have kept so many things? Because you have to keep munching, something you have to keep eating. Always the tongue has to be busy, either talking or eating. What you talk any nonsense. And eat anything. That's what is the business of everybody. That is what is making us fall down. Okay, so here, when Arjuna is asking, Kim ka bhasha, Kim prabhasheta, means what is his language? What is this? How do you speak? Prabhupada speaking is very important. What speak? Because when you speak now, it is all what you are thinking, and what is all your culture, everything is expressed through your speech. If you are not very presentable in your talk and you are not respectful, what type of upbringing you have, what type of culture you have. You're very respectful, having a good, nicely talking. Then it's from good culture, good family. Let's see how much it matters. Speech. Okay, next, let us move to the verse 55. So what does Krishna say? Krishna is going to answer all these 4 questions systematically, one after other. So answer to the first question. Ka bhasha, what are the symptoms? What are the general symptoms of a person? So Krishna says, Sri Bhagavanu Vacha, Prajahati yada kaman, sarvan partha manogatan, atmani evatmana tushtaha, tita pragnes tadochate. Very nicely, Krishna says that when a man gives up all endeavors for sense gratification actually arises from mental concoction, Krishna says. And when mind finds satisfaction in the self alone, then he is situated in Sthita Prajna, or he is actually Krishna conscious. He is in pure transcendental consciousness. Okay. So here, the first question of Arjuna is answered with regard to the general description and characteristics of a self-realized person. What is the general symptom of a self-realized person? Every endeavor, how does he conduct or act? He gives up all material desire for sense gratification. It's a very important point, right? He gives up all desire for sense gratification. See, any action we do has a background of a desire behind that action. You agree? Because anything you do, it is propelled by a desire from within. You want to eat something, that is a desire, and then you act to go and capture or eat or take that item for eating. Right? So any action you do, it is having a background of a desire. So Krishna says, how does a Krishna conscious person act? He has no desire for personal sense gratification. Rather, all his desires he has given up, such material desires he has given up. And Krishna says, these material desires are actually born of mental concoction. Manogata, very important. Prabhupada is where he says, in one of his teachings, our mind is a factory to generate desires. Desires for sense gratification. Eyes want this, ear want this, to nicely hear, eyes want beautiful things to see, tongue want beautiful, nice, tasty things to taste. Like this, every sense is demanding. And all this, our mind is manufacturing. Rather, Prabhupada uses a nice word called concocting. Concoction means you are imagining, oh, if I get likes, nice eatables, so nice, I'll be satisfied. New movie is released, so much of advertisement. If I see that, I'll be satisfied. New, some record album is released. If I hear that, I'll satisfy. New advertisement is coming, very soft bed. If I sleep on that, I'll get nice sleep. Like this, this advertisement is creating you desires within you, generating desires. Right? So this mental concoction, we are creating, okay, if I do this, if I then act this way, I'll be satisfied. It's called concoction. Concoction means imagination. So Krishna says, when a person gives up all varieties of sense desire, sarvan partha manogatan, sarvan kaman. Kama means desire for personal gratification. Somebody may ask, what is wrong? Personal gratification? Nothing wrong. But what we are doing is 24 hours we are doing this only. That is the problem. You can meet your needs and demands for maintaining your body, that is okay. But now, forgetting about the need for the soul, it is like killing your soul. That is the problem. And the sense gratification is what is the problem for us to entangle ourselves in the material world and finish off this whole existence. Continue our existence in the material world repeatedly. So Krishna is telling general symptom of a self-realized person, Krishna conscious person, is he has no material desires. And also Krishna very nicely explains that then if he has no material desire, what is his life? Useless, nothing, no happiness only. Like sometimes people ask, Swamiji, you don't see TV, you don't see movies, you don't see that, you don't go to marriage, all these things. What is your life so dull? So if that is the case, then as good as you're a dead man outside world, right? All are partying so nicely, January 1st or December 31st, and you're not even partying. What is your life? We say we have party with Krishna. We have a different party, right? Our quality of party is different. That is the point. Your party is going to, degrade you. Our party is going to elevate us. Prabhupada, when he went to America, initial days, Prabhupada 1966, 65, he went to America. Time there was a movement going on, hippie movement. Hippie means young youth, in the America, they became disconnected from the mainstream of family life, orthodox way of, going to school, college, and learning. They just came out of their school, colleges, and they're all roaming as vagabonds, and they're all addicted to drugs and a lot of such, activities like this, alcohol and then illicit sex, all these things. This is how, they were all, they were thinking by taking drugs, we'll go high. How much high? Too much high. So Prabhupada, I was telling in one class, early days, he made a poster also. So they were telling, Prabhupada asked, why are you taking drugs, cocaine and all these things? They were telling, no, it makes us go high. And when you go high, you have a spiritual vision. That was their thinking. But Prabhupada says, okay, spiritual vision you may have, but after that night you take, next time morning again you're down. What is the use of this going high? So Prabhupada made one poster, stay high forever. How? By taking Krishna conscious drug of chanting Hare Krishna. This is a drug, Aushadhi. Then you stay high forever. You will not come down only. This is what Prabhupada nicely, he explained to all of them. Then they started chanting Hare Krishna. Slowly they left all drugs. They stayed high forever. Right? That is what it is. So we think in the material world, we have so many plans. We can do this, we should do that. Prabhupada gives a nice example. One boatman was there. He's, generally, in India, we see villages, boats in the rivers, they would have tied that boat to with a rope to one rod on the bank. So from the bank, the water, it is very smooth, water movement on boat. Once he comes to the bank, there on the land, a lot of pebbles and stones and all, very rough, walk. It's hurting his soul, feet. So boatman is thinking, if I get a lot of money, then what I will do, I'll put nice, soft pillows here. Okay, then I can walk so nicely. Prabhupada gives the example to tell us how foolish we are, you see. First of all, if you get a lot of money, will you be still rowing the boat? Right? Like this, we make our plans. If I get money, I will do this. If I get money, I will do that. And we are like that, we're entangled in our complexity of desires, material desires. It's called concoction. You go on making plans, millions of plans. Unlimited plans we have for life. And there are insurance companies giving you unlimited plans. Do this, do that. Your life will be all glorious, but you will not be there. Only your insurance plans will be with us. You invest here, you invest there, and your life is successful, right? That's what people say. People also, very nicely invest all monies. After that, what happens, nobody knows, right? So like this, so many plans people have. It's called concoction. So Prabhupada very nicely explains in this verse. So such desires you have to give up. So now, giving up these desires, can you give it up simply like that? Artificially? No. Artificially, you cannot give up. It will not stay also. Artificially means just, I don't want to desire like this. For time being, you may think, but eventually, again, the desires will come up. So Krishna explains further, in the next verses for us, how by engagement in Krishna consciousness completely, as eternal servant of Krishna, your desires can be subdued. Material desires can be subdued. Because Prabhupada quotes from Bhagavad, he says, without such Krishna conscious activities or Bhakti Yoga activities, you are sure to be taking shelter of mental concoction. Manorathena dhavato asato bhahihi. When you are taken shelter of material, sense gratification or mental concoctions, manoratha, it is explained in Bhagavata, then you have no good qualities. So here Krishna is using one nice word. He says that atmani evatmana tushtaha, which means that by realizing that you are eternal servant of Krishna, you will find satisfaction for yourself. Take pleasure by giving pleasure to Krishna. It's a very important statement. Take pleasure by giving pleasure to Krishna. So he has no desire for some petty materialistic, sense enjoyment. So further we see nice examples Prabhupada will give us with explaining this. So here the conclusion is, Krishna is telling, give up all types of desires for sense gratification. Your sense desires means it all mental concoction, going to entangle you. You have only one desire of serving Krishna in different ways, how Acharyas explain, as Prabhupada explains us. That is going to take you out of this mental concoction and bring you to the right path. That is what Krishna is recommending here. Take satisfaction in the self alone means become Krishna conscious or follow Krishna conscious activities. Now, verse number 56. Now, 56 and 57 is the answer to Krishna's second question, Arjuna's second question. What was the first question? What are the general symptoms? Ka bhasha. Now, second question is, Kim prabhasheta. How does he speak? What is his way of expression? So it is a very nice meaning. The meaning of how does he speak basically means, how does the intelligence and words of this Krishna conscious person respond to various emotions? Because all of us are going through various emotional journey of our life. You become angry, you become very happy, become very dull, very disappointed, right? So Krishna explains how does your intelligence and words are responding to various emotions when they are expressed in our course of life. It's like Arjuna's example. He was, as soon as he saw his own people in the battlefield for fighting, what was his emotional response? He became overwhelmed with compassion, material compassion, material lamentation, right? See, there is a difference when I'm telling material compassion, material lamentation means everything concerning body. There is spiritual compassion, spiritual lamentation, which we'll understand at a later stage. But let us understand this much. In the beginning, at least, Prabhupada explained the first verse of the second chapter. One nice example Prabhupada gives. Lamenting for the dress of a drowning man is called material lamentation. Right? A person is drowned over, but his shirt also drowned. That is, material lamentation. That's what we do. वो चला गया. कौन चला गया? उधर ही लेटा हुआ है शरीर. The body is lying there only. Where did he go? His soul went. People have never seen the soul. Ordinary people. They only say, oh, he went away. Hey, he's there only lying. That's the point. So material lamentation for material body, material compassion, people are overwhelmed like this. So what is the way how does he first of all speak internally? That's what Arjuna's question is. Kim prabhasheta. How does he speak internally? Because any situation around you, any emotional, stimulus around you, you first speak within your mind. Right? You see somebody who is nicely dressed, you may not express it, but in the mind you're talking. Right? Very nice. See, the color of that sari is very nice. I don't have that sari. Maybe I should also have this color. Right? Like this, starts thinking. Other thinking, it is material thinking. Krishna conscious thinking is very nice, nicely dressed. If the same person becomes devotee, it's very nice. Over. Your Krishna conscious thinking is so nice. Right? Like this. So everything has Krishna conscious way of thinking and material thinking. That's what Krishna is going to answer now. So what is the answer in verse number 57? How does he speak? So Krishna explains that dukkeshu anudvigna manaha sukheshu vigata spraha vitaraga bhaya krodha stitadhir murir uchyate. So he's telling the person who is actually self-realized or Krishna conscious, he is not disturbed in happiness and distress, equipoised. He says, dukkeshu anudvigna mana, sukheshu vigata spraha. Very nice. Equipoised. Equipoised means he sees everything from the Krishna conscious perspective. Very important point. Prabhupada explains. He accepts happiness, distress as what? As Krishna's mercy. Very important. Prabhupada explains this in the purport. When something, Prabhupada explains that when there is happiness, or rather, sorry, first we'll explain about distress. Prabhupada explains in the purport. He says, when there is a distress or problem, miseries in life, how does a Krishna conscious person see? He sees that actually what misery has come to me, Krishna has reduced it by his mercy. I would have got more misery, more problem. I'm only worthy of more problem, or rather more misery. But Krishna's mercy, that misery is reduced. Right? Maybe I'm in the car I'm going, I would have met with a serious accident and something serious would have happened to me, but some scratch happened only. So any misery coming to a person in devotion, he thinks it as mercy of Krishna. Krishna has saved me. You see? In distress also, dukkeshu anudvigna mana means his mind is not agitated. Anudvigna means mind is not agitated. He's seeing from the Krishna conscious perspective. Whereas ordinarily, person who is not Krishna conscious, how does he see? Any problem comes, oh, big problem. That because of that this happened, because of this happened. Yesterday I went to that marriage, I drank something, I don't know what it was. My stomach got upset. Because of marriage only it happened. First of all, why did you go to marriage? And why did you eat so many things there, overeating? Your problem. And you're blaming somebody else. So like this, we start go on blaming and have this blame game. Because of that, because of this. You don't see the misery is because of my own previous actions. It is coming as a reaction. And because I'm practicing Krishna consciousness, Krishna has reduced it as so much. Now, what about happiness? When something very nice situation comes, very happy situation comes, he gives credit to the Lord. Lord's mercy, it has happened so nicely. And I'm not worthy of any happiness actually, but Krishna is so wonderful, he's giving me happiness. Yes, see, this is called Krishna conscious way of thinking, how intelligence and words are speaking internally. Dukkeshu anudvigna mana, sukheshu vigata spraha. Which means, ordinarily a person when he's happy, I did it, I achieved it. Right? I worked hard and I passed the exam, first rank, my hard work. A devotee will say, nothing, I did nothing. I only did my little duty. Krishna has given all the result. All Krishna's mercy. This is the difference. This is the difference. So, dukkeshu anudvigna mana, sukheshu vigata spraha. And one more thing Krishna explains, he is free from attachment, fear and anger. Prabhupada very nicely explains why a person is attached. Attachment is what? Prabhupada, attachment means accepting things for one's own sense gratification. Right? It's called raga, attachment. So this person who is Krishna conscious is free from attachment, raga, bhaya, krodha, fear and anger. Attachment, fear and anger. What is attachment? Attachment means you accept things for sense gratification. I like to do this. I like to eat this. I like to see this. That is called attachment. That is not there means, oh, you get disturbed. You're angry. Right? So Krishna conscious person is not like that. He's not, not attached to any sense gratification. If Krishna wants, I will do. Detachment means, oh, that is not there, I'll not go. That is not there, I'll not do this work. I don't have any, my gratification is not there, I'll not do this. Krishna conscious devotee sees whether my gratification is there or not, it gratifies Krishna, satisfies Krishna, I will do it. Krishna's sense pleasure is the topmost. That is called Krishna consciousness. So he's free from this dualistic aspect of attachment and detachment. Right? And further, Prabhupada very nicely explains with regard to how he is fearless. You can see Prabhupada's example in all these qualities, of a Sthita Prajna or a Krishna conscious devotee, we can see in Prabhupada's life personally. A Krishna conscious person is always daring and is very active, right? It's fearless, free from fear. That's what it's called, fearless. It's always fixed in his service. See how Prabhupada alone, he went to America, 70 years old, with no background of anybody, with no support of anybody, no money. He's gone there for what? Just to carry out the message of his spiritual master. That is called daring, fearlessness, right? And with regard to angry, when your plans are all successful, be happy. Not successful, very angry, right? So he understands, Krishna conscious person understands whether his attempts are successful or unsuccessful. He doesn't become angry. He sees all Krishna's plan is there, right? He knows Krishna wants anything, results come is Krishna's desire. That way he's very steady in his determination, right? So that is the point, what Prabhupada is trying to explain here in the purport very nicely. I want all of you to read the purport. Very beautiful purports, very short and beautiful, full of wonderful meaning. Okay, so the symptom of a person, how does he speak? Speak means what all he thinks and how his intelligence works, what are things, thought process going on in the mind with regard to his external situations, external emotions which he experiences or he encounters. First thing is, when dukkha is there, he sees it as Lord's mercy. Sukha also Lord's mercy on him. Very nice. Dukkha he endures. I am worthy of more dukkha, but Krishna is so merciful that he's reduced the dukkha for me. And he's very daring, right? Fearless. And his detachment is not for sense gratification. It is for Krishna's service. And he's not angry whether his attempts are successful or not successful. In fact, Prabhupada's life, if you analyze, after he met his spiritual master in 1922, up to 1965, Prabhupada's life is full of failures. He attempted in so many ways to preach Krishna consciousness. He met only failure. Can you imagine a person from almost 45 years of failure? Will he ever take up any new thing? But he was determined. Prabhupada was determined. Right? And he went, because his whole thing is, Guru Maharaj ordered me, I had to go to the West and speak about Krishna consciousness. Right? He knows, maybe when something is successful, Krishna's sanction is there. Not successful, also Krishna's sanction for something, for some higher purpose. So we always, our senior devotees has taught us this important principle. Whatever Krishna has given, whatever Krishna has not given, whatever Krishna has taken away. Three things. Okay. Given, not given, which was there and taken away, is Krishna's will. Something according to his plan, if you are performing devotion for your betterment of devotion, Krishna has done this. This is what a devotee understands, and he is fully convinced on this point. Okay, the next, in verse 57, this answer continues further. He says that all these qualities of equipoised in happiness, distress, freedom from attachment, anger, and the fear. How it is possible? Why? Because yes, sarvatra avinasnehas tat prapya shubhashubham navinandati nadvesti tasya prajna pratishtita. He says he is who is without attachment, who does not rejoice when he obtains good or lament when he obtains evil, is firmly fixed in knowledge. Basically, it is in a other way of telling why he is not affected by good or bad in his life, happiness and distress. Because his material world anyway is full of dualities. Good, bad, honor, dishonor, heat, cold, like this dualistic world. Right? always, Prabhupada says, there's always some upheaval in the material world. Upheaval means ups and downs will be there. It is called material world. But a Krishna conscious person or a devotee is not agitated by these material upheavals. Right? Because his whole focus is on Krishna. Prabhupada, the soul, the Krishna conscious person is focused only on Krishna's service and nothing else. And Krishna means all good, absolute. Right? So Prabhupada says, such a Krishna conscious person who is situated in this way is in perfect transcendental position, and this position is called samadhi. Tasya prajna patishtita. Prajna means your consciousness is fixed firmly on Krishna. Right? So this is what Krishna answers Arjuna's second question as. The first question is, what are the general symptoms of a Krishna conscious person? Answer for this is verse 55. Second question of Arjuna, how does he speak? How does he speak means, how does his thought process go on as a response to different emotions and different situations around him? Somebody honors him, somebody dishonors him. How does he take it? Somebody insults him. Sometimes nice Rajbhog is available, Chappan Bhog. Sometimes Sukha Roti or Khichdi is available. How does he respond? Only today, Khichdi I don't eat. No, anything what comes, Krishna's response. Krishna's mercy. Right? This is what. So how does he respond to external situations? Because he's equipoised in good and bad, up and down, everything. Right? Krishna gives, I'll accept it for his service. It's all his mercy. That's what he thinks. And how it is all possible? Because he knows the material world means dukkhale ashashvata. And his only business is how to satisfy Krishna, how to move forward myself in Krishna's service and in my devotion to Krishna. That's all, nothing more. That's why he is in samadhi. That is his language. It means, language basically means, what is all that thinking going on in his mind? Because all of us are constantly talking to ourselves. Right? And when we see different situations, when you see different various other emotions we go through or other people go through, we talk. What the talk should be. If you're not Krishna conscious or if you're not trained in this way, you talk in a negative way. Oh, why this happened to me? Am I the only person? Only I was removed from the job. Everybody's working. So like this, so many things happen. Everybody got, I didn't get. Like maybe you're sitting in a row with for some serving of some food. Everybody gets sweet and finally you don't get sweet. You'll be so depressed. What did I do? Just because I didn't sit in the first, I sat in the last, so I didn't get sweet. You should think Krishna's sanction. That day you should not eat sweet. Oh yeah, please be happy. Many times, I remember in the initial days when I joined the ashram, we used to go and come back a little late. Then prasadam was over, evening dinner. So we were a little unhappy. Whole day we have gone out and prasadam not there. So our seniors used to tell us, take it as Krishna's mercy. This today, Krishna wants you to fast and sleep. That will make you satisfied, peaceful. Otherwise, prasadam is not there. I'm coming so late. You don't know. You have to keep prasadam for me. No complaints. It's like this. Every situation, how you respond. Right? Sometimes in the ordinary course of our routine activities, small things we get irritated, agitated. Something is not as per my plan, anger. Somebody, you're standing in traffic, in a red light, yellow light, green has come. You in front of you, the car is not moving. You're boom, boom, boom. You can't wait for 2 seconds, 5 seconds. What happened here? Like this, you see so many examples because we don't have that patience. We don't know, everybody is going through, maybe that vehicle has some problem. Right? Everybody's life is going through so many, ups and downs. But instead of being calm and peaceful and poised, you become agitated. Later on, you realize, oh, what is my mistake? Then you come to your senses that it's too late. Damage has happened already. Right? When you have spoken harsh words, when you have a rude behavior, ugly dealings with other people that leave as a scar on their heart, in their heart. Right? So always you should see these Bhagavad Gita teachings are so wonderful. It will make you a perfect gentleman. How to deal with every situation in life. Right? Everybody is going through different karmas. And all of us are having a combined, mass karma going on. Because if some people are come together, means some combined karma is going on for all of us. All of us have to interact and have to move forward in a very harmonious way. That is only possible when you are Krishna conscious. I'll give a simple example. When Prabhupada started ISKCON 1966 in July in New York, it was a small storefront. In America, storefront means a garage. Generally in the house, in the front, there's a place meant for parking vehicles. Storefront, capacity of 25 people can sit there. That's all. That was the first temple of ISKCON, 1966 July. So, Prabhupada used to start the program morning around 6 o'clock. So it's a kirtan. So it so happened that after maybe few days, neighbors started complaining, some sound, tung, 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 kartal sound is coming, people are singing, disturbing our sleep. So Prabhupada was so sensitive, he told, don't play kartal, sing very softly. This is called sensitivity. See, for you it is pleasure, kirtan, but other person, it is pain. Nuisance. What are you talking about? Right? Sometimes, marriage going on outside, some band baja, sound, big sound. For you, it is nuisance. For them, dancing. Everybody is dancing. So what is food for you may be a poison for somebody. So be sensitive. That's the point. So the second question is basically to be sensitive with regard to the external environment around you. Just because you are hurt, you are angry, you don't respond accordingly. That's the point. I think we'll close now. It is already late. We'll continue because this is a very good subject matter to understand nicely. We have covered 2 questions. We'll try to understand more things as we proceed further. Okay, I'll stop here. Anybody any questions, any clarifications, any comments? No questions? Okay, we'll close now. So all of you read this. We have discussed.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.